Alright, how's it going, Twid? This isn't that platform. This is now YouTube. Alright. Alright, how do these YouTube videos start? What's good? Nope, that's hi team. Nope, that's, I got it. We'll figure it out. Hey guys, how you guys doing? It is your boy June here, bringing you guys pretty much the first episode of what I want to... Do you mind? Hey guys, how you guys doing? It's June here, bringing you my first episode of my YouTube channel. Something that I have tried in the past before, but never really didn't know or have any sense of direction of where to go. But now that it is 2023 and I've been roughly around everywhere, if you guys recognize me from another channel, thank you guys for all the support. Please continue supporting them, as they are a huge reason why I am inspired to do this now. I don't know about you guys, but 2022 competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Really beat me up there. 2022 Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitive scene was not pretty much the best thing that I had going for me this year, but 2022 did have a lot of key memories for me. Being a part of another person's channel, getting to interact with some of you guys that did support me, or that do support me, as well as meeting other YouTube content creators to give me the advice of whether it was for my filming or whether it was just talking to me. It was all good from there. And I really do appreciate it, and now I'm here to try my hand on it. But the reason why I mentioned the 2022 year and why it really beat me up is because I did not compete on a competitive level that I thought I was going to be competing on. But I think we all need that to change. Like any professional player, they do sometimes need to go take a step back from the game and realize what more can they do to learn. Now, I have not participated in locals as much in 2022, and I do plan to change that. A lot of people get a lot of inspiration and a lot of practice from your locals. So be sure you go to your local OTS store or any place that has your locals to get that good practice. And I think with that, we need to go to the People's Card Shop. But June, you only play tier, you only play tier limit. If you ain't fusing, you losing, right? Well, good thing I have my tier limits deck profile. Well, profile? Deck. English. What is this thing called? Deck box. I have my deck box right here full of my tier limits, and I am ready to let you guys know for the 2023 season, we ain't doing that. In fact, we are going to be testing the new and improved me with a new and improved deck. Now, I am going to give you guys a slight deck profile, but I do also want to mention that we do have locals fairly soon, and we still need to get ready. And I think it's time we dive into the deck profile really quickly so we could show you what we are working with. With the new set coming on in Photon Hypernova, a set that is bound to change the competitive scene, because there is a deck called the Kashtira. Now, for those who do ring a bell, and Kashtira Unicorn being a $70 card, no need to worry. It's going to go down, hopefully. Hope you picked yours up. Because if it didn't, you guys are kind of screwed. But Kashtiras do have their own deck at the moment, which right now is actually playable. And that is something that we're going to be bringing to locals. To give you guys a rundown of what we're playing really quick, I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys the deck profile that we're going to be bringing to locals. We'll be playing 3 Kashtira Fenrir, 3 Kashtira Unicorn, and as well as 2 Kashtira Ogres. As you guys can tell now, with the Kashtira deck, they are all level 7s. They can special summon themselves. One searches monsters, one special spells, one special searches traps. Pretty simple from there. Not only do the Kashtira monsters have the ability to special summon themselves if you control no monsters, they do control the board. This deck is more of a mid-range type grind deck that if you control the board well enough, you guys can pretty much steamroll most of the games that you guys do have. Now, with them also being level 7 and this being a control deck, I decided to also play Dino Wrestler Pankratops. Pankratops has not been seeing so much competitive play anymore since the release of Kashtira Unicorn, and I still wanted to play Pankratops as I am going to be playing a going second version. We're also playing the Astral Karibos. Next, we are playing 2 of the Ascendant of Thunder, and like I did say, I am playing a going second build, so we are opting to main deck the Lava Golem. I have had people question me and go, play Kaijus. Kaijus are not going to work in this favor, but I do think the Lava Golem is a little bit better. Opponents ending on break my board type of builds with a lot of negates, Lava Golem can clear them. Same thing goes for the Kashtira, well, the Kashtira mirror match, but also the tier limits matchup where the Rule Kalos is on the board. Just having Lava Golem as a built-in out is great. Next, we're playing 3 Dimension Shifter. This is probably one of the most toxic cards in the game. And moving on to spells, we're playing the 3 Birth, the 3 Sacred Sword of 7 Stars. We're playing 2 Instant Contact, as well as a Gold Sarcophagus for our engine. I want to give a bigger shout out to my boy Dox, who recommended me Gold Sarcophagus. In testing, it's worked out plenty, it's worked out great, but can it do good in the local level? And that's what we're here to find out. So as for traps are pretty much 1 preparation. I feel like you can bump this up to 2. I just felt the 2-1 is probably the best way to play that, as well as going second, 3 evenly match. This card is ridiculous. And finally, for the last trap in the main deck, we are playing 3 Infinite Impermanence. Moving on to the extra deck, we're going to make this really quick because locals does start fairly soon. We're going to be doing Kashtira Shangir Era, 2 Mind Hacker, 1 Draco Sack, 1 Big Eye, 1 Red Eyes Flare, 1 of the Doom Rider. As the rank 7 package, we do play another spicy package, and I want to thank Logan and Brian from Crush Card for showing me this on their deck profile. If you haven't, go support them over on them. You're playing the Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon into the Odd Eyes Rebellion into the Dragonic Overlord, and you're wondering, June, how do you do this? How do you do that? Well, it's simple. You put Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon in the EMZ, and then you Gravity Controller link it away to summon out your Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon to then use as a material to overlay into your Overlord. Overlord will attack 3 times, causing you to steal games. Fairly easy, and that's just one hell of a good win button in a simplified game state. And with our deck, you can actually get to the simplified game state enough with Harpies, Dark Hole, Board Breaker cards. Obviously, we're playing Zeus himself, and then we are playing, because we're playing Instant Contact, playing Elemental Hero Brave. This is just a filler spot. You can go ahead and play any of the Elemental Hero monsters that is the level 7 that you guys choose. Preferably, I recommend you guys play the Neos monsters as an Elemental Hero Neos the Aqua one, and as well as the Flare. They're monsters that don't work with your opponent's Bystials, so play those if you got them. I don't have access to them right now, so we are playing Brave Neos. And then the final monster that we're playing is Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. Just because we are playing a bunch of 7s, he can become a problem monster in his own right. So there you guys have it. That is going to be the deck profile that we have for Kashtira for today's locals. And hopefully that was quick enough. If you guys want to go ahead and skip ahead, we're going to go ahead and go to locals now. But because it is a tournament, we need to create a side deck. So let's go ahead and make one right now. And we'll talk about those options on the drive to locals. Alright guys, now that we put together our deck as well as our extra and our side, there's only one thing left to do to go learn from locals. And that's go to locals. So let's go get ready, let's hop in the car, and let's go see what we can do today. Alright guys, so we're on our way to locals, and the biggest question I just had while entering the car is, June, what do you expect to learn from locals itself? Well, obviously we're piloting a brand new deck in Kashtira. It is not at its full power yet. We're playing it pre-Hypernova. So obviously the biggest thing that I need to take out of this is learning the deck. Every new deck that comes out, a player should learn how to play the deck, especially if they want to move forward with it. And this is one of those decks that I'm going to have to learn, because Photon Hypernova is going to cause this deck to change and potentially be one of the best decks in the meta. Now, we have done some testing on DB as well as remote duels, so I have a gist of it. But how does it compare to a level, I want to say a level 1 tournament in your locals tournament? But it's not going to be any different from testing from my testing with friends, because everyone at my locals are my friends. So it's pretty good that we're going to go ahead and have fun while doing it. But we got to keep track of the main thing, learning from locals. So we're hoping for a good day. We're hoping that I can learn more, and hopefully we win. But realistically, I'm going to just absolutely try my best at just piloting this deck to its fullest potential. Maybe find some key holes in the deck building and some combo things that I can figure out from there. But without further ado, let's go ahead and just cut into some B-rolls. So, let's talk about the side deck really quick. The side deck obviously includes 15 cards. It should always do. If you guys can't find a slot, just find something that works well for you guys, such as time cards or anything. Now, my time card of choice is going to be Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood. We decided to side deck more lightning storms in more going second cards, just in case my opponent's strategy is to go first all the time. So we're going to have more ways to break the board. Now, we also do have cards such as Summon Limit to help us go first if needed, as well as the Macrocosmos in the side deck. Now, only playing 2 Macrocosmos, yeah, I want to see it, but with the option of Dimension Shifter as well as Macrocosmos, I have 5 ways of interruption to banish my opponent's stuff. It's pretty cool. And then we have Summon Limit because the Kashtira monsters, after they're going first play, can essentially just control the board with summoning big monsters that's just going to go ahead and summon it. So those are pretty good. Cosmic Cyclones are on the side too, just because we have cards that, like Floodgate cards themselves, if anybody here just decides to play like Imperial Iron Wall, or there can be only one. So we have those in there as well. With the main deck's Harpy's Feather Duster already, it's going to work well, hopefully, even with Lightning Storm too. So we have 6 ways of interruption for back row decks as well. But one odd choice that I decided to do is going to be Book of Lunar Eclipse. Now, I don't have Book of Eclipse on me, so we decided to go Book of Lunar Eclipse, which, in my opinion, isn't too bad of a card. Yeah, there's the targeting effect. Whoop-de-doo. One thing that it does complement well enough is discarding 1 card. Now, opening up Kashtira Unicorn or Kashtira Birth, with getting Kashtira Birth, helping to special summon from the graveyard, as well as, what is it called? I know. Special summoning from the remove pile. Discarding 1 card is not too much of a bad idea. Normally, what my brain thought right now, what we're going with, is most of the time you have 2 monsters to worry about of interruptions. Now, obviously, if they're playing a Link Spam deck, the Book of Lunar Eclipse isn't going to help so much, but neither would Book of Eclipse. So we're going to go ahead and try those cards out for a little bit before we decide to move on to Swords of Concealing Light for the, inevitable Photon Hypernova, and we'll just see how it goes from there. I'm super excited to go and learn. I'm super excited to go meet my friends and hang out with them too. Unfortunately, I don't have a tripod to capture games, but I will do my best to get you guys game recaps in between rounds. Hopefully we don't go into time. And get you guys pretty much familiarized with my thought process. And maybe leave in a comment section below how I could have played that better. I will give you guys opening hands, and I will give you guys updates of like how we're doing. My bold prediction, I really hope to at least go 2-2, because normally on our locals Thursdays, we go a 4-round Swiss before cutting into top. Now there's options that where we can play into top 8, or just among friends, we gotta just split it so we go ahead and eat early. But we'll go ahead and keep you guys in the loop. All right, guys, I'm here with my boy George, good friend of mine, and he's probably you're a head judge, aren't you?
No.
Well, he's one of the best players we have in this locals. What would you recommend for someone who got his 2022 season kicked? What would you recommend?
Keep playing cards.
Just play cards?
No, like just keep running through it, keep going. Like if you get hit, if you get hand trapped, if you get whatever, if you get stopped, just keep running through it.
Okay.
Persistence.
Okay. Now, how would you recommend anybody who's coming into the game to like step up their game if they want to go to more a level 2 YCS compatibility?
Best chance is just running games, just constantly playing. Like even if you get your ass kicked, even if like you lose every single match for 4 matches straight, every single time you lose, you're learning something. Every single time you lose, like something's clicking. Plays are happening.
Okay. And my segment for my YouTube is called Learning at Locals. Would you recommend people to go to locals?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Locals is a great place to go. You meet new people. It's a great social experience. You get to, you can play 4 rounds of locals against a Shizu tier and get 4 different experiences from how different people play, how different people end their boards, how different people just interact, what people value. Me and my friends were discussing yesterday, I think Ash is like not great in the tier matchup because there's nothing you really want to Ash other than exactly kick Kalos.
Okay.
And Imperm Valor does the same thing. And then the boy Austin and Nick were arguing that you always want to Ash Shayrian because it's a body, it's a mill 3, and it's usually a pitch of a monster they want in graveyard.
Okay.
So that's I don't agree with it, but it is a different viewpoint.
Okay.
People play matchups differently. So if you play against them, they'll Ash a Shayrian that can end the turn. Play against me, I'm always hitting a kick Kalos with it.
Okay. So in a format right now, would you recommend board breaker or hand trap?
Probably a mix of both.
Mix of both?
You gotta have a mix of both, just because there's some decks that you can't board breaker. If you let them go off, you will lose.
Okay.
And there's some decks that you don't want a board breaker, you just want to have hand traps for small interactions, interactions that they set up over like a board, like over a turn. They don't just set it all on the field and expect you to hit it at the beginning. They set up 1 or 2 interactions with the ability to set up more as the turn progresses.
Okay.
So that's what a Shizu tier is like really good at. They have like 1 or 2 interactions on the board, and as you play the game, they're able to set up a shuffle, a pop, what do you call it? Try to plant to a negate, just as the board, like those don't start on the board, they end up there halfway through the match.
Yeah, okay. Understandable. And that's coming from someone who used to play Ishizu or a tier himself, so I understand what Capri is saying. If you were to give one more keen advice of someone like me who needs to take a step back and learn from locals, or someone who's trying to get into the local scene, what should you prioritize?
Putting in the hours.
Putting in the hours.
Just if your locals does 4 locals a week, try to make half of them. If you really want to improve, try to make at least half of them.
Okay.
And figure out whichever one's the biggest one. So like a Saturday or a Sunday or a Friday, whichever one your locals pops out the most amount of people, be there.
Okay. Sounds good. And if you can't make the time, would be testing with friends offside?
Yeah, absolutely. Testing with friends, like anytime you guys are hanging out, if you're hanging out with Yu-Gi-Oh friends, just be playing Yu-Gi-Oh. You can talk about work, you can talk about football game, you can talk about anything, but just be playing a match.
Okay.
It's something to keep you occupied. You're still going to be able to have the same conversation, and you're still going to be able to like learn and pick up stuff.
Okay, gotcha. And for all the viewers, just one last thing that I want to do with all my friends. What's the one trash deck you wish was better?
What trash decks have I been playing? Time Thieves.
Time Thieves.
Time Thieves. I just got a Starlight for it.
Okay, there you guys have it. So there's George Take. We'll go ahead and cut into next a few rounds, and then we'll go ahead and bring in another friend of mine to give you guys more information for me and for you. Thank you. okay, round 1, we played against Marinces, and Marinces, to me, it's a really good deck. So what we had to do is that we had to try to control as much as possible, and thank goodness that's what Cashier is good for. The effective D-shifter helped out so much. So that's one thing that we had to learn. Going into game 2, he makes the big one, and then from there he beats me out. But turns lasted too long that we had little to no time left. That I was forced to make Red Eyes Metal Flare game 3 going first. So from that, we just took the dub there. Great player. All right, we are outside of the game or the shop really because I needed a breather on this one. We played game 2. I'm sorry if it's loud. Round 2, we play against Heroes. Heroes is by far one of the top 10 decks in this format, in my honest opinion, and some of my friends. So with Heroes, I had to be very careful. I took game 1 just by locking out some of his zones, using Kashtira and Mind Hacker, getting rid of the problems such as the Sunrise and the DPE, but gratefully I was able to tutor it into my pace to where I was able to win. Taking notes from what everybody has said about the Kashtira deck of my friends that I got off camera is that Kashtira really knows how to keep the ball rolling if you play and manage your resources correctly. So that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to manage my resources, and it got me the game 1. Going into game 2, I didn't open so high, but I did learn something about hero monsters. The Cross Crusader is one of the biggest things that you need to stop in the game, or in that deck. You don't stop it, they just keep going. And then he beats me out. Main deck's Raigeki. Freaking great. My round 2 is right there. Main deck's the Raigeki and does really, really well, which essentially outs me out. Game 3, I opened up the summon limit, which is supposed to help me out in the best way possible. He got his hands with the Liquid Soldier off the Twin Twisters, which helped him pretty much secure the game from there, as I did use most of my resources that got blown up by the Raigeki again, and as well as the summon limit. We go into so going into round 3, I was fully prepared, but he just ends up beating me. It's a learning experience, something I didn't know too much about Heroes but now I know, and hopefully next time I play against Heroes, it's going to be very well from there. So I have my boy here. He's doing really good. You want to tell him that what we both are? Bad players.
Scrubs.
But besides that, how are you doing, bro? How you doing?
I'm doing good.
You doing good? All right. You got any advice for anybody who needs to learn from locals? Because 2022 kicked my ass competitive season. That I think I need to take a step back and start playing locals a lot more.
So when it comes to locals, make sure you look up your rulings. Look up your own rulings. Make sure you know your rulings. That's the most important. Knowing what your opponent plays. That's not a thing.
Yes, sir.
Net deck. Walk around. Look what everybody's playing. Net deck.
Oh, so he's just a shark. He just looks at it, what everybody's playing.
Yeah.
And this is why he's the homie, because every time I come into the store, he asks me, June, what you want today?
Yeah, I preemptively
He preemptively sides against me.
Every time.
That's how you're undefeated. You just know everyone's thing and you pre-side.
Hey,
Yeah.
everybody knows what I'm playing. They're
That's
like,
true.
Oh, you still on Despia? Yeah. So
That's true. That is true.
Despia best deck.
All right, guys. Well, quick recap. Round 3, I go against Crystal Beast Control. He didn't know what Kashtira does. That's all I needed to do.
I just had on Kashtira.
Yeah, well, not him, but for me though.
Yeah.
Wait, you played against Kashtira?
Yeah.
Oh,
they ripped the wrong
I hope I get to mollywop you next time.
If you're playing Kashtira, rip Lubellion.
Yep.
Out of their extra deck.
Yeah.
If you don't rip Lubellion, it's game over.
Yep.
Yeah,
So.
Yeah, fuck the Kit Kalos, dude. Ignore Mirror Jade, ignore that.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, I agree. But deadass though, round 3, opponent was good. I think there was just some things, if he knew what the Kashtira did, he did beat another Kashtira player prior, but he was just playing against Kashtira. I think it was the one you played, Kashtira Adventure.
No, I played a different Kashtira player.
Okay. So there's 3 cash tier players here, but I'm trying to prove I'm the better one. But
we
besides
all
that,
know you're the best player. That's why you're doing this vlog style right now. Because you're the best player.
be sure to subscribe because he said I'm the best player. I'm not, but let's get it going. All right, guys, here we are in the car. Locals just ended. Like we said, we played 4 rounds of Swiss. I ended up going what I predicted in 2-2, but it's really good that I did that because that's exactly what I was trying to do. I was trying to win, but also I was more there to learn the deck. And it turned out really well for me because all the plays that I wasn't so sure of, I got answers to and I figured it out. Guiding the deck properly was one thing that I had to focus on, and I think I did just that. Round 4, we played against the Kashtira Dinos, and they just have big monsters. They got really big monsters, easy for me to clear. But I think it was really good that I didn't drop any game today that I got 0-2'd. So that was good. I at least took 1 game off of everybody that I played, a minimum, and it was just really cool from there. I think we did find some holes in the deck to work on some consistency, but besides that, I think we're really good to go come next locals. So Saturday is the not invitational, but it's called the People's Championship, where basically once a month we get to go to the tournament, we pay X amount, and we play for prizings, and if you win, you get first place prizing, which is also going to be packs, but as well as tournaments free for the whole month of February. And I definitely want to utilize on top of that. I'm going to stick to Kashtira. I don't think I should go tier limit, as seeing everybody in this locals that played against me when I said I'm gonna go second, they opted to make Dweller and Babushka. So I think now we transition more into a going first build, and we'll just learn from there. But besides that, this is something that was definitely needed, and I'm super, super excited to get back into competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! By taking the step back and obviously learning from locals. Don't let anything or anybody tell you to not try and go play at locals. Just play online. Cool, it can, but there's something different about the environment that is when you're hanging out with friends, as well as talking and interacting with other people and their mindset, getting to talk to other people around you about deck build ideas, and just going out to have fun with Yu-Gi-Oh! So again, guys, so this is just the first episode. I really don't know how to end my videos nor start my videos, but we'll work on that. All I know is that this is June, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode. I'll see you guys on Saturday. Thank you, YouTube, for tuning into today's episode, as I got to learn a lot today. And I hope you guys got to learn something new from this video in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitive scene. And if it's not something relatively you didn't need to learn, hopefully you take whatever was said and you take that into your daily life. Go ahead and be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to let me know how we do this. Watch the channel grow as we learn YouTube and we learn Yu-Gi-Oh! For YouTube's sake, we're trying to learn our hardest and our best to recording with new equipment, such as trying it on a phone, trying it on our cameras, trying it through the desktop, whatever it may be. Remember, every day is a learning experience, and every day is something that should be welcomed. So remember, keep growing, keep learning. Ain't that right, Jenny? Yeah, she don't talk. I think this is how we end videos, right? Anyways, guys, this is June. I will catch you guys on the next episode of Learning from Locals.